Hey guys, this is What If Issei Had the Omnitrix Part 2. Now, let's just dive right into this fanfiction. Now, I know guys, I've been gone for a while, but I'm jumping and basically pushing out this video on Saturday night because, well, I've been gone for a while. I'm getting back into the mojo of senior year, which is the most important year. Opposingly, that's the most important year to high school. So, right now, I'm just grinding on that. So basically, during the school year, I am going to be being incredibly consistent with pretty much everything I do. So I'm going to be giving you guys videos. I'm going to be doing better in pretty much everything I do. And I'm going to be setting boundaries and good habits. So in this, pretty simple, I'm about to hit my, life betterment era. I'm about to hit that key point, that high note. But I'm going to be giving you guys a lot more diverse content. So at least 2 what ifs every week and 2 non-what if videos. Basically like custom figure videos, gaming videos, a lot more of those, and other things like that, right? If you like my gaming videos. So I'm going to be giving you guys that. And also, I am going to be giving you guys a lot more action figure content and trying to put more time into those videos. And I know if you guys have been there for the stop motions, my Thor stop motions it's been in the work. And honestly, I got the script and everything laid out. I just have to do the animation, stop motion, and also the voice acting. So that's what I need. But besides that, let's just dive right into this fanfiction, and you guys will see my change in my quality of videos and my scheduling of videos a lot faster and a lot more often than not. By the time Monday or Tuesday arrives, you'll be getting the Guts Part 3 video. So let's just dive right into this video. So we last left off after, well, Issei would have would have basically gone toe-to-toe with one of the fallen angels. After that, he would have gone back to Miss Redhead chick? I don't know. But Miss Redhead chick. I'll get her name later on in the video. But basically, we start our story off with episode 3 of DxD, High School DxD, right? We see Issei walking down, basically enjoying his day as he would have bumped into a sweet girl, or a little nun girl. Basically a blonde-haired girl with green eyes. As Issei would have started to absolutely crush over this girl. I mean, dude, put it back in your pants. But besides that, we will see that Issei would have been literally joshing. After she would have dropped her, I guess, blanket or napkin or handkerchief, Tatsumi would have... Issei, Jesus, I'm still back in my God kill thing. Issei would have picked it up and would start geeking over this. I mean, damn, bro. Chill. I know he freaky, but god dang. I don't know about you, but Issei, I don't know. He's always been a little bit of he's never taken the opportunities that were given to him, bro. I would have voted so many times, and I would have let my body get absolutely devoured by those women. Oh my goodness. But we say Issei, Issei would have returned her cloth, actually. The thing that went over her head that had basically majority nuns wear. Issei would have been talking to her, as he kind of would have felt bad that he's talking to a nun when he's a freaking demon. But besides that, we see that Issei would have started to talk to her. But Issei would have actually started to tweak up, saying, what can he say? What in the world could he talk about right now? He's a demon and she's a nun. This is very confusing territory for Issei to be around. But Issei just starts to talk to her, but she interrupts him and asks him about his wrist or his watch. Issei would have said, well, it's kind of a family heirloom, as Issei would have lied dead in her face. Issei going into a little bit of a, self-thought process, saying that how in the hell did I just lie straight in the face of a nun? It's crazy work. But we said Issei would have started to talk to her, and he would have actually started to flirt with her, as Issei would have had a little bit of a spark of luck with his charisma and his, I guess you could say, for you Gen Z's, Riz. I'm never going to say Riz again in these videos. I'm more or less going to say game. But we see that Issei has a spark of game, and kind of compliments on how she's very beautiful and she has a amazing eyes or something along those lines, and comes off very, let's just say, dating sim main character-esque. I mean, bro bro hits all the keynotes and unlocks his Ultra Chad. I'm not gonna hold you. But after that, he goes downhill from there. It's nothing better than that. She starts blushing, starts getting a little cheese, you know what I'm saying? But we see after the intro would have interrupted us in the beginning of the first half of this episode, we see that Issei starts to walk her where she's supposed to be walking to escort her or basically talk to her. And Issei is throwing a little bit of, just nonchalantness. But eventually he looks at her chest, not like that, but looks at her chest and notices her cross. And he kind of is internally disgusted or kind of peed off by the sight of it. And he's kind of confused on why he feels a way when he sees it. Like, why does he feel that way? It's confusing to him, as he kind of just throws it off. But eventually they hear help or crying for help from a little girl near the park they're walking by. Issei watches her go towards the boy that just pretty much fell over and started crying over a scrape. Me personally, I would have gotten up and would have threw that off and then started crying in front of my parents because I'm petty like that. But no, that's just sad, bro. That boy looked at least 13 years old, bro. At least 10, maybe 9. You cannot be crying like that, bro. In public, with how big you is. No, bro. This is sad. But we see that the girl starts to heal the kid's knee as Issei is confused as how she healed him. But he also notices his arm starts to tweak out, and I mean tweak out. His hand where the omnitrix is starts to tweak out. The omnitrix itself isn't a type of demon ritual thing. It's more of a gift that can be given to angels, humans, or demons, or anything along those lines, something like that. Actually, no, I'm just tripping with you. I'm just messing with you guys. We already know how you got the omnitrix in part 1, but basically, pretty simple. Like, the omnitrix is like a fate. It's got all these omnitrixes around the world are kind of like the Green Lantern rings. They're spread around different universes and just basically drifting in a pod, waiting to be called upon by some sort of solar flare or some sort of unacquainted events that would eventually lead them to coming upon paths of somebody else that is destined to have them in their possession. Like I said in part 1, a lot of different characters in the DxD universe, like other demons, witches, and other demons, angels, and priests and stuff like that, will come across omnitrix level artifacts or Benton artifacts / different omnitrixes from different universes that exist in this universe. Like the omnitrixes that belong to the other multiverse versions of Ben Tennyson, like Ben 23 and other omnitrixes like that, and Albedo's omnitrix and other things like that, and the Ultimatrix, and basically stuff like that, and the Xenotrix, and basically everything, like all those fan lore omnitrixes too will be introduced or will be a possibility in this fanfiction. So if you guys have any type of or commissions on what DxD character you think should definitely have a omnitrix and which version should he have. But let's dive back into the fanfiction because I'm getting way off topic. We see that Issei starts to walk her back to where she's supposed to be going after he witnesses what she just did, and also tries to figure out why the heck did his hand just start tweaking. After Issei would have just started to chill and basically would have just started to talk to her, as eventually he would have been told by her that I'm sorry if that freaked you out, but him saying nah, it's okay, and it's a pretty nifty trick you got there. How did you do that? As Issei basically is told that it's kind of a curse, but also it's kind of a blessing, but also a curse, but very much a blessing. As he said, she starts to walk, and they eventually come across the sight line of where they're seeing the church, and they say there it is. As she says yes, as he goes on to say, yeah, it's the only church here, but yeah, that's the church. It's a church, all right. I just know the church isn't miles away, but I guess you can say that is the church because that's the only one here, you dumb. But enough of that. You see that Issei walks her, and eventually we get to the church. Now, Issei stays behind after she goes because Issei can't go to the church, right? He's a freaking demon, so he ain't on that type of timing, bro. We see that Issei and her exchange names, and she says her name is Jinso, or Jinso, or I'm just gonna go for Jinso because Ariana, whatever, Ariana Gento, I think was her name. I'm just gonna say Gento. just to keep it simple, kind of like I call Issei by his last name. So, jeez, I forgot her name. Gento. Issei, okay. Gento says goodbye, and they say goodbye, and they follow themselves away, and they say, be safe, blah, 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 and they dip out. Issei goes his separate ways. After their separate ways, after them walking away, we would get switched to basically, well, Issei talking to, well, Rias. Rias would explain to him that being on church grounds, and to stay away from the church in general, because being on church grounds as a demon can cause a war or a fight or a battle, and there are things it can do to you to make you not exist. Like, after death is nothing. You don't exist anymore. You're dead. You don't have an afterlife. You don't have a resting place. You're gone entirely from existence. You're finished, to put it precisely. Even with the omnitrix, it could help you in those situations, but we don't even know the full power, the full extent of it, because every omnitrix that any other demon, human, or angel have ever got their hands on have all been given to them by fate. None of them are controlled by the powers or the forces of demons or angels. They're all controlled by fate and the universe's guidance. You were able to get it, and you were able to be guided towards its power right before I got to you. But with all that, you are still my servant. You're still my Issei. You can't just allow yourself to be put into jeopardy like that. So I suggest you stay away from the church more often than not, and stay off the grounds from it. And that whole thing about your hand, it tweaking out like you asked me earlier, that was your demon instincts telling you that danger was near and you needed to stay away. After that would have happened, we said Issei is just chilling in the common room, the chill room. But as Issei, as he's talking and basically just talking about his whole encounter with, I think, the nun girl, he would eventually basically get interrupted by one of the black-haired girls on his roster. Not his roster, but, you know, her, the black-haired girl. My favorite girl in the bunch, but I had to remember her name later on, because I'm going to tell you more of their names. I'm just getting back into the mojo. This what if, man. I've been gone for like 2 weeks, man. But what would have happened is he would get interrupted, but he also would have been told that they're going to be on a mission, as a stray demon has been found near this area, and they're causing havoc, tricking people into coming into a nearby abandoned building and basically eating them alive. As they would get all summoned there outside the abandoned building, as Issei would have been told a little bit of a backstory about not fallen angels, but pretty much stray demons. Stray demons are demons that have killed their master for their own selfish ambitions and desires and went off the grid, becoming more evil and corrupt incarnate. As Issei is scared as hell, but he says, okay. As they all walk into the building, as eventually they are told that they are pure evil and they will do anything for their own selfish ambitions. So Issei is kind of thrown off, but he says, okay, I'll keep my head on a swivel, okay? As Issei is chilling, as eventually he sees a girl with a huge rack. Oh my god! No Diddy. Ain't no Diddy. I'm a dude. I like boot. No, I'm playing. But what happened is Issei is straight up like, what in the heck? That's an evil demon of pure carnage. I don't think that is. Well, we see that she basically goes on about how she knows Rias somewhere, and Rias supposedly has always been jealous of her or some bull like that. It's basically just back talk. Rias tells her about the House of Grimmery. I will command you to stand down, or else you will be taken care of. As she goes on and says no, and basically starts shooting lasers out of her tatas. Bro, what am I watching? This is the 3rd episode already, bro. I remember rewatching this. I finished the series like when I was way younger. But damn, I never realized she was shooting pew-pews at her hoo-has. Like, bro, what?
Oh, hell no, man.
Just starts loading lasers out of her titties.
Huh?
Tatas, her kukas, her Otata cannons. Just going crazy. Issei is basically in pure shock and awe. Like, what in the heck am I watching? But he gets pushed out of the way, or basically grabbed out of the way by Rias telling him to get out of the way and to basically stay undercover. As eventually Rias does, because the same thing would happen. Rias would have told him about the whole chess game and about how she's the queen and they're all her pawns, and they're supposed to fight as a whole unit. As Issei watches them all fight, and he is in pure and utter shock and also awe and impressed. Issei starts to freaking tweak out after he sees his blonde-haired baby boo from part 1 go straight up Goku style vanish towards the monster and cuts his arm off. Issei goes on about like how he just vanished, but Rias assures him that he's just moving fast, and he's his knight. He is her knight in this game, and his main attribute is speed, and his main weapon or his special attack is his sword. He goes on and cuts the monster's arm as the monster gets super pissed, or the demon gets super pissed, and starts to become more monstrous and demonistic or demonic as he starts to go straight towards the gold cat girl, Konako. She goes after Konako, and Konako absolutely bodies her. And she is, her rook. And her main attribute is strength, bro. She's strong as a mug, bro. She's strong as a mug, bro. But he absolutely just starts watching her wail on this demon. Oh my lord. She's cooked. God, she's wailing on her like no kingdom come. I mean, throwing hands, no diddy, bro. I mean, it's going crazy. Her suit gets absolutely obliterated since she was semi-swallowed by the demon first half of the fight.
Pause!
But what would happen is we could switch to Akeno, my baby boo, my black-haired queen, bro. Oh my god, I love her. Akeno stumps in, and we get shown her true power, bro. We see that Issei looks over at Akeno, walks away, and he sees one of the demon arms that were cut off earlier twitch and go for Rias. Basically, Issei goes for the omnitrix and transforms into Heat Blast, burning the demon's arm clean into smithereens as he looks at his hands, and basically Rias, thanks him, saying, yeah, thank you, I just did that on command, my body just moved on its own. Basically, you see that Issei looks over as Akeno starts to go crazy. Akeno is the queen. Sorry, earlier, I think Rias is the king, but she's a queen, and she has straight up Pikachu vibes. I mean, lightning for days, bro. She starts to go crazy. She starts to pull out a storm move, bro. She starts to light that shit. Bro. She starts to, and she got the anime closed eyes expression. She goes crazy. Picks her hands up, conjures up a spell, and goes crazy. I mean, Thor, a god of thunder, and she gets hot by doing this. Like, she licks her lips, she blushes like she is a dominatrix type bitch. She's dominatrix type shit. She loves giving pain to people, bro. And Issei's just watching this from far in his Heat Blast form, still saying, what in the actual hell? She looks over with her blushed face and basically just starts to tweak a little bit. You see that, pretty much Rias walks over to the fallen, or the rogue demon, and basically starts to straight up talk her shit. Rias eventually tries to ask her leading last words as she goes on and says, go to hell. Rias chuckles and says, game over then, as she summons a red magic circle and absolutely banishes this woman, bro. I don't know if she sent her to the Shadow Realm or anywhere, but she gets banished. And in the scene after that happens, like if you pause the video, her hair is freaking long as hell. God damn. I never get like how girls have hair that, in real life too, I've met girls that have hair all the way to their booty. Like, don't you get it like stuck in your butt crack when you're taking a shower? I'm just asking, like, bro, having hair all the way to your back is insane, bro. All the way to the bottom of your freaking tailbone? Hell nah. I've seen people with locks that are that long, and they're all very well taken and nurtured and groomed, and they look healthy and succulent. Pause. But it's too much hair, especially with locks. Normal hair is something as it is, but locks are so much heavier than normal hair when it's wet, because that's 1,000 times more. I don't know. Let me talking about hair. Okay, I'm never gonna grow my locks out to my buddy crack. I'm sorry. That's just too much hair, bro. That's just too much hair. But we see that basically they just watch this as Issei is in pure and utter like, holy camole, bro. She just Spanish that bitch to the shadow world. Basically what happens is, well, Issei, after that, before they go home, after Rias tells him, let's go home, he asks, oh, well, with all that, what am I? What chess piece am I? As he says, like, I just want to know where I fit in, what's my role. And she says, well, you're a pawn. As I'm like, whoa, you're telling me the dude in this continuity that is literally the omniversal, most versatile demon, or most versatile being in this universe, he is a pawn? That's crazy. After that, we get hit with like a little bit of a stop motion with, you know, little pictures in there. You've seen DXD, little pictures in there. How to get it in real quick. I'm sorry, right now I'm playing. But what would happen is Issei basically starts to think about, damn, chicks do not dig pawns, and I'm about to have to grind my ass off to get a higher rank as a demon. I have the omnitrix, but I have to start training with this thing and get better with it, as Issei looks at his wrist. But Issei's on his bike, basically saying that he is such a stupid reborn because he would be easy to get into higher power if he was born a noble like Rias, but he's just a stupid reborn, and he's gonna have to bust his chops just to get near Rias' level. Issei shows up to a house after he just says go. He goes on about how he's just gonna be full-blown loser forever, and then he's just a stupid bitch-ass pawn, and stuff like that, right? He just started to down himself. But eventually, he walks into a room, or walks into his house, and basically starts to think, like, where is the person that's selling me? You know, like, where are you, bro? Like, dude, what's going on? He sees the door opened, and he sees a room of light, and he kind of just flashes back to a talk he had with Rias earlier on in the day. We can switch to Issei talking to Rias, as Rias talks to him about Kimiko or Kamiko. Basically had too much in missions this week, so I'm gonna have to need you to basically take over some of them. As pretty much Issei says, okay, sure, yeah. And she says, don't disappoint me. As basically Issei kind of looks over and says, yeah, of course, yes, ma'am. As he basically is kind of discouraged, but he doesn't want to give up. He can't turn back now. As Issei takes the leap of faith after getting that weird chill when he walks into the room, as he walks in there and gets ready to basically do what he had to do. He looks in there and he sees candles and everything like that, and he sees, oh, they said in the mood. They said in the mood over here. What would happen is Issei basically walks into the room. As he steps in and he feels like the floor is wet, right? He pulls up his feet, touches his sock, because like in Chinese households, you take off your shoes before you walk in. And he basically looks at his hand after he touches his foot. It's blood. He looks over and he sees a dead corpse, and he's just shook. He's like, what the f-? As he gets interrupted by some sort of dude with white hair and says, punish the wicked, yada yada yada. We can show them this dude is a holy man. In this world, holy men are kinda, I don't even know, bro. This man is iconic as hell, bro. He starts to pull out his tongue. I don't even know what he's doing, bro. Oh, nah, he looks like he's on Diddy timing, bro. I'm not gonna lie. But, bro, says he's Von, whatever. I don't know, freaking. Let me rewind the video. Hold up. Freed Sozen at your disposal. That's what he said. And he basically bows and looks up and says, you just walked into the wrong house, young blood. Or fella. As basically, pretty much Issei's like, what in the absolute fuck niggas is this? As he goes on and says, you must be the little ass that I'm gonna be basically, well, banishing or exercising today. As he did originally summon the, you know, Kimiko or Kamiko originally, but he got Issei instead. As he says that I'm gonna be not executing, but pretty much exercising you, and basically gets into kind of a stance and says that he works for a demon purging organization, and basically gets ready to absolutely drop this man's Issei. But we all know Issei's the main character. He ain't finna go down by some sort of no-name scrub. Well, he just said his name, but some sort of side character scrub. Issei gets absolutely chalked, saying, bro, you just killed those people. As he says, I had to cut them up in little tiny pieces because they are sinners and they are demons. As he basically gets ready to absolutely pump this man Issei after this dude takes out a sword of freaking light. What the hell? A sword of light and pulls out a holy gun. Bro, what? A holy gun? I never thought I would ever say a sentence like that a day in my life. Holy and gun in the same sentence is crazy. It's diabolical even. But we see that he starts to absolutely unload on Issei, trying to shoot this man as the kingdom come. Issei dodges and weaves at the first blade or the first attack, as eventually we see that Issei jumps behind a pretty much couch after getting shot in the freaking thigh by the gun after he dodges the first 2 bullets, as Issei basically looks at the omnitrix and says, "Freak you, bro," as he transforms into the next transformation he got in his roster, as he transforms into Ben Wolf, a new transformation he hasn't unlocked yet. And I did say I think Issei has all the transformations from the very first Benton series, including the other ones Ben got later on in the series, like Ben Wolf, Eye Guy, and other things like that. But we see that he transforms into, well, Ben Wolf, a transformation he hasn't trained with yet, as he gets into a fighting stance and starts to fight and scrabble with this dude, maximum efficiency. He starts to dodge out the way and weave and waft out of the light blade attacks, and eventually he hits him with a sonic scream, shooting him against a wall. We see that he gets stopped midway before he chose for another finishing blow towards, well, Issei's face with the white, or the blade of light, as he sees the priest girl from earlier that he saved or helped basically see the dead bodies, and she starts to tweak, saying, "What the hell just happened? What's going on? What's happening?" As he goes on and basically talks his shit, goes on about how they were demons, they were sinners, and I had to execute them and take them out. He looks over to Issei and sees the wolf and saying, "What is that?" As Issei basically pushes the demon over and basically says a phrase or a conversation he had with the basically girl earlier, saying that he is Issei, as she says, "What? You're Issei, the nice boy that saved me earlier, that helped me?" As he says, "Yeah, that's me, but I'm sorry, I lied to you." As they start to actually go back and forth, the conversation goes on similar the same, but Issei kind of gets up after getting slashed by the back, after basically getting interrupted by the, well, nun girl, as eventually, or Judo I think her name was, as he basically gets cut it down as he's about to get decapitated. But before that happens, the priest girl jumps in saying, "Don't hurt him. He's a good person. He helped me. He's good. He's a good person." As she starts to plead to the priest not to do this, but he basically has to talk to her, saying, "There are enemies. Move now. Why are you saving them? There are enemies. They're demons. They're opposite of us. They are not natural." She basically says, "How can you think the phone would approve this?" As she says, she basically gets absolutely demolished, or basically her clothes get cut off. Fan service. It's DXD. What do you expect? But basically, we see a little bit of A cups. I don't even know breast sizes, bro. All I know is double D's is the biggest, or somewhere. I think double X. I don't even know Z. I think it goes to Z. I don't even know. But we see that basically pretty simple. Yeah, she gets absolutely demolished, and basically, well, Issei jumps in and absolutely starts going crazy. He starts wailing on this dude and starts to absolutely drop this dude. He starts to absolutely vandalize this dude. He throws him against buildings, or not buildings, throws him through walls in the house, and absolutely starts to ramage the walls and pretty much ravish the house. I mean, going crazy. Issei starts to unload waymakers after waymakers after haymakers after haymakers, and starts to absolutely demolish this dude, priest dude, whatever. He grabs him and chucks him against the wall and face pummels him straight into a literal toilet seat, and at this point they're in the bathroom fighting. He throws him through the window, grabs his foot before he falls out the window, throws him back into the house, into another wall, through the wall, into another room, through another door that leads to the hallway. Issei jumping through the walls and basically grabbing the dude and dragging him against the wall, and starts to absolutely demolish him. Well, what happened is Issei starts to absolutely starts to clap this dude. I mean, it's not even fair. It's not even a fair fight. He starts to dodge and weave multiple of the attacks and bullet shots, but he gets hit a few times in the tail and in the ears. But eventually, he grabs the priest and throws him against the floor, down to the ground on the first floor, because, well, it's a 2-story building. As he jumps down the hole he made after throwing that dude on the floor, grabs him by the arm and basically breaks it, throwing him against another wall. Issei starts to just use his brute strength in the Benwolf form to his advantage. He doesn't know too much about him, but he does know so far he has some sort of sonic scream and superhuman strength, agility, speed, reflexes, and some sort of werewolf body as he looks into himself in a mirror while he was in the bathroom. We see that Issei absolutely starts demolishing this dude left and right as he basically soon but surely starts to try to fight back using different techniques and different tactics. At this point, basically Issei is filled with a lot of bashes, cuts, bullet shots, and all sorts of wounds, but somehow because of his anatomy of Benwolf's transformation, he kind of is keeping himself alive because somehow, for plot reasons, basically the Benwolf transformation has a type of small regeneration factor. What would happen is Issei starts to absolutely start to fight against this guy, eventually throwing him down on the ground, and eventually him being on the floor, basically coughing up a lot of blood and almost semi-dead. After that would have happened, we see that the priest girl is on the floor crying after she was freaking vandalized by the priest before the priest got absolutely dropped by Issei, as Issei basically walks off and helps up Judo, and basically tells her that it's going to be okay, as he basically starts to absolutely stomp out the priest even more, as after this the priest is in like comatose state. Like, he is in a comatose state. He is literally like he's in critical state. Like, they're gonna have to call the ambulance for him. Like, he is in critical condition. His body is beyond repair. His rib cage, his arms, his legs, especially his right arm, was really fractured in like 16 different places by, well, Issei's moving and also arm breaking attacks. And his forehead was literally cracked into two. Like, I'm surprised this priest is still alive, let alone in critical condition. But after that would have happened, but it gets stopped midway after he gets interrupted by the Ria's crew. And I'm gonna leave it up here, guys. So, pretty simple. Yeah, things would have gone on, but the pretty simple, it's not the Ria's crew. It's someone completely different. Someone that we all know from the Benson universe, and someone that we know will give Issei a run for his money. But I'm gonna leave it up here, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys like and subscribe. And as always, guys, have a blessed day. And also, it is going to be a Benson villain, so who should it be in the comments? But see you guys later. Bye, deuces, and always, guys, have a blessed day. Deuces.